Hey, what's up guys? It's 4K and welcome back to the weekly update for WoW's patch 7.2 content. This week we begin the seemingly long journey back into our Order Hall quests. Personally, I was pretty excited to get back into these. I really enjoyed doing them the first time around, and yes, I did every single one of them. Personally, I am a bit of an altaholic. I do have one of every single character at max level, and yeah, it is due to the fact that apparently I hate myself. Legion is the most alt-unfriendly expansion that WoW has ever had, but that has not stopped me from spending hours and hours on other characters than my main. Personally, I do see that as a positive when content like this comes out because, as you know, each Order Hall quest is different for each class, and honestly, in the past, just like now, Blizzard has done some pretty cool stuff with the class Order Halls. I'd say at this point I have played through about half of them. I think I have 5 or 6 characters that are played all the way through the quest that came out this week. And what I can say most is that if you enjoyed the class Order Halls the first time around, you're going to enjoy them just as much this time around. Unfortunately, that does mean that just like the first time around, you're going to run into the fact that some class Order Hall quests are just cooler than others. I have done the Hunter one, the Warrior one, the Paladin one, the Warlock one, and my personal favorite, the DK one. And the first thing that became abundantly clear to me was that not all class Hall Order quests are created equal. And I think that this became most clear to me when I did the Paladin one. Because in the Paladin one, you're really just kind of helping one person find out things about their ancestors. Maybe that'll lead to something greater, but for right now, the thing that they have released was just kind of short. Didn't take very long, wasn't very grandiose, was just kind of plain, just felt like a normal quest line. But then you've got stuff like the Death Knight, and that one was fantastic. You're going back to Thorm's Peak, you're fighting dragons, you're raising them up from the dead. You're defying people's wants for their ancestors to stay dead. You're raising them up anyway in the Death Knight style, and it was just great. The overarching structure that I saw with these was you go perform some kind of task and then come back and do some damage on the Broken Shore. And good God, in the Death Knight one, did you do some damage. You raise the Dragon Broodmother from the dead, and you ride her into battle like the glorious undead force of destruction that you are. You're throwing down lightning and fire on top of the Burning Legion as you fly over them. It's a fantastic quest. It's awesome. And it absolutely blew some out of the water, which is why personally I feel like I'm in a better place because of my altaholism, because I get to see and experience all the different kinds of quests. Now, unfortunately, it is broken record time. This will be the 3rd week in a row that I make this point because it is true so far every week. The time gate. You're killing me, Blizzard. You're killing me, Smalls. This didn't need to be another time gated thing. And like I said, some broken record stuff happening here, but it's true. I was done with each one in maybe half an hour, and that was only because some of the cooler ones had some scenario or RP-esque elements that made me wait a little longer. These were not very long quests. Next week we're going to get a next edition. I'm just hoping that each edition is at least as long as what we saw this week. If they're releasing even shorter quests as the weeks come, it's going to get really tiresome and really boring because these were pretty short. They weren't too short. Some really cool stuff happened, so it wasn't that big of a problem. Going forward, I really hope that they don't release anything shorter than these. So that's about all I had to say today, guys. Like I always say, definitely leave your feedback in the comments. And because of the way the channel is working right now, as you can see if you're paying attention at all, I'm kind of jumping around from thing to thing, trying things out. If you have anything WoW related you want me to talk about or do a video about, definitely leave it in the comments. And if it is something that catches my interest, then I will definitely try my best to get something out. Or if you have anything you'd like to see at all, just leave any suggestions and any feedback down in the comments. And like I said, guys, that is all for this week's video. The current schedule for the channel I think is kind of locked in. Tuesday, honestly anything could come out. I'm still trying a lot of stuff out. WoW Wednesdays and the podcast on Thursdays. So that being said, I will see you guys next week with another WoW video and tomorrow with another podcast. See you guys later.